The story begins many years before the destruction of Pomp. A young boy lives peacefully with his tribe, far away from Roman power. But that peace doesn't last. Roman soldiers arrive without warning, turning his homeland into a battlefield in a single night. Everything is destroyed, homes are burned. Families are killed, and the child is left alone in a world that suddenly feels empty. He survives. But survival is not mercy, it is punishment. He is captured and taken far from everything he ever knew. Instead of freedom, his life is rebuilt inside violence. He is trained to fight, to bleed, to entertain crowds that cheer for death. Years pass, the boy disappears. In his place stands a gladiator known only for one thing: he cannot be broken. He wins fights not because he is the strongest, but because he refuses to accept defeat. People stop calling him by a name. He becomes a symbol in the arena, a weapon, a legend. They call him the Celt, but inside him nothing is healed. Every fight is just another reminder of what he lost, far away. In the heart of the Roman world, a city of wealth and beauty prepares for another season of celebration. Pompeii is a place where power and pleasure live side by side. Nobles debate politics in marble halls, while ordinary citizens fill arenas to watch bloodshed for entertainment. Into this world arrives a Roman senator, a man who appears polite, respected, and loyal to Rome, but behind his public image lies something far darker. He is not here for peace or politics. He is here because Pompeii is part of a much larger plan, a plan built on manipulation, control, and hidden crimes that no one in the city suspects. He smiles with authority, but everything about him is built on lies. And he is about to cross paths with the gladiator who has nothing left to lose. The Celt is brought to Pomp as a prisoner destined for the arena. On the journey, fate introduces him to someone unexpected, a young woman from one of the city's most powerful families. She lives in a world of rules and expectations, but unlike most people around her. She questions everything. She sees the emptiness behind the luxury, the control behind the traditions, and the cruelty hidden inside Roman order. When she meets the gladiator, something changes. Not because they belong together, but because for the first time, both of them see someone who doesn't fit into the world they are trapped in. One is raised in violence, the other is trapped in privilege. Yet both are prisoners in different ways. Once inside Pompeii, the gladiator is thrown into the brutal world of the arena. Every fight is a performance for the crowd. Every victory earns more fame. Every defeat means death, but he keeps winning. Not because he wants glory, but because survival is the only language he knows. As his reputation grows, so does the attention around him. The city begins to see him as more than just a fighter. He becomes entertainment. Danger and fascination all at once, at the same time. The noblewoman's life begins to collapse under political pressure. The Roman senator begins pushing for control over her family, using influence and intimidation to force alliances that serve his hidden agenda. What once felt like a stable city slowly starts to reveal cracks beneath its surface. And in those cracks, truth begins to rise. The gladiator eventually learns something that changes everything. The man who now sits among Pompeii's elite, the same man who smiles in public and speaks of order, is connected to the destruction of his tribe. The past he thought was buried is standing right in front of him. Everything inside him shifts. For years he has fought just to survive. Now he has something to fight for: revenge. But before that revenge can take place, something far greater begins to happen. At first, it is small, a tremor, a distant rumble, a strange silence from the mountain nearby. People notice it but ignore it. Pompeii is a city built on confidence. It believes itself untouchable. That belief is about to be destroyed. Mount Vesuvius begins to awaken, and when it finally erupts, there is no warning that matters anymore. The sky turns dark, ash replaces sunlight. The ground splits open. Buildings collapse, as if the city itself is being erased from reality. Panic spreads instantly, but escape is already impossible. Pompeii is no longer a city. It is a trap in the chaos. The gladiator breaks free not for glory, not for revenge, but for one reason: the woman he has come to care about is still inside the city while others run toward survival. He runs deeper into destruction at the same time. The corrupt senator tries to escape, abandoning everyone he once controlled. But in a collapsing world, power means nothing, wealth means nothing. Only survival matters, and survival is no longer guaranteed. As the eruption intensifies, the city begins to disappear piece by piece. Firestorms tear through streets, ash suffocates the air. Entire sections of Pompeii vanish in moments. Inside this chaos, the gladiator finally reaches the man responsible for his past. The confrontation is not in an arena, not in front of a crowd. It happens in a dying city, where the ground itself is breaking apart. Their fight is brutal and desperate, not for honor but for closure, and in the end, revenge is finally taken, but even revenge cannot stop what is coming. The eruption reaches its final stage. A massive wave of destruction moves through Pompeii, faster than anyone can run. The city collapses completely under ash, fire, and heat that no human force can survive. The gladiator finds the woman again in the final moments. They try to escape together toward the sea, where ships are still attempting to flee. For a brief moment there is hope, but Pompeii does not allow endings like that. The destruction overwhelms everything, and the city disappears.